Hi everybody, hi every spirit, welcome very much to my YouTube channel. Esoteric Cloud Surfer here, ready to start a Esoteric Cloud Surfing live. And what is Esoteric Cloud Surfing? It's a lighter, less dense, and also vibing on a higher frequency and vibration vehicle that your spirit can jump into in order to travel to higher, lighter, more wider and wiser realms of reality and perspective, so you can have a perspective and the notion of your reality that is lighter and also more expansive, wider and wiser as well. Thank you very much for being here. Your support is greatly appreciated. I wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings and emotions, a whole bunch of individuality, creativity and responsibility as well. I hope you are enjoying your Saturn day retro in Aquarius, and it's what we are here to talk about today, because we are building or limiting past moments where we were associating or we were a part of an individual group, or we were associating ourselves in an individual way or with individuals, right? And it's all keyword coming from the past. We are building using past thoughts and ideas, or we are building on past thoughts and ideas, you know? And shout out to everybody out there changing the world right now by being themselves, by being unique and original, and by showing to others that the best way to be themselves, the best way to be is to be their god themselves. Shout out to my beautiful partner Daria. Go check the links in the description down below to check her content, to check my content, support the channel with a like and a subscription. You can also support the channel by donating. You can ask one tarot card for yourself, you can ask two tarot cards for yourself. You can check the email and my pages in the description down below so you can know more about my services, and you can book services with me and with Daria as well. Alright, and shout out to you watching right now, shout out to everybody watching right now, shout out to everybody watching the recorded version, and let's get started with the Astro reading and the tarot reading for Saturn day in Aquarius. No, not Saturn day, for Saturn retro in Aquarius. But before we jump into that, we're gonna take a look at today's energies. Alright, today's energies with Saturn in Aquarius, retro, Sun in Virgo, and Moon in Gemini. Right? And just a disclaimer, we have 6 planets in retrograde, alright? So it's not just Saturn in retrograde, we have 6 planets in retrograde, so a lot of past moments, past feelings, past ideas, past dreams, past illusions, past ways to think and communicate, past relationships, past objectives, past fears, past insecurities, past moments where you transmuted your fears, past moments where you had to transmute your fears but you didn't. Everything is coming back up to our conscious and subconscious awareness, because we don't only have consciousness. Our consciousness is only a small part of our subconscious, you know what I'm saying? But you're being aware of a lot of shit right now, and I usually say that retrograde seasons, or any time a planet is in retrograde, is like your PC. You imagine you are a PC, right? You are not a PC. There are people that really make that connection too clear, too straight. But imagine you are a PC. Your processor is working harder. You're getting super hot because you have the present information to work right now. We still living, right? We still experiencing. So we have our present moments and our future ideas and stuff like that. We are processing that, plus some past moments, plus some old programs, old games that we don't play anymore, but they're still occupying space in our memory. And every time we load up a new program, we have to run all that code as well. So keep yourself a part of that. It's normal to be a bit more tired right now. It's normal to feel confused, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, it can look more confusing than it what really is. It can look more complicated than what really is. Shout out to Daria. See, she's here in the chat right now. She has a video on her channel called "It is as complicated as you make it," which is very true, especially for this retrograde season, because mainly it's going to be from the past. So there is more chances that it's not happening in your life right now. But by you thinking so much and feeling so much about it, you can re-manifest that thing again. But positive fact, let's say you missed an opportunity. Let's say you weren't strong, you weren't so versatile with your own energies in the past, and you missed a chance. You can you can manifest it this time around, or you can manifest it better. Okay, so that's the retrograde season advertisement disclaimer. I do have a past live stream here on the channel talking more generally about the retrograde season, and let's go for the daily reading energies. All right. So today is the 17th according to the Gregorian calendar, to the Greek calendar, because Gregorian, right? The Grego part means Greek in at least Portuguese. I'm not sure if it is in Latin, because Portuguese, Spanish, French, Italian, and Romanian, they all come from Latin, all right? So I'm not sure if Grego comes from Latin or is a Portuguese adaptation, but Grego from Gregorian means Greek, you know? And before Latin, Greek was the most widespread language and program in the world, because when you programming a computer, you use a programming language, you use a code language, right? So the language that we speak can program, it does program our perspective about reality, all right? So according to the Magic Square, according to their calendar, because it's not conspiracy theory, you live in a system, right? You go outside, you have authority, you have these brands, you have these associations, you have these corporations, you have these limits and boundaries, you have these certain ways to expand your business, okay? You have these certain things that everybody needs in order to live. You have these social etiquettes that everybody or almost everybody complies to. So that's a system. That's not good, that's not bad, that's just what it is, and you just go outside and you experience that. But let me tell you something right now. Whoever runs that system, okay, because it doesn't matter who they are, what matters is how they are doing things and the space thing coming from, right? Whoever is in charge of the system right now, they want us to believe that the whole world is under that system, and it's not true. There is many parts of the world where the system does not reach, and there is certain parts of the world where the system does reach, but it doesn't work well. And it does not, in certain parts, it even doesn't have to do with opposition of the indigenous people. In many parts, people doesn't even oppose to the system, it just doesn't work. All right, it doesn't work it might work, but not in a sufficient way, you know, because it has all to do with specific frequencies and vibrations of specific geographical locations, and that's where we create the native tongues. All right, now we have English, which is a global tongue, and English is like a fusion of Latin, Old German, Norse language, Arabic language, all right? So English, it's not a native tongue, but you might people saying, oh, but English is the native tongue from people of England and Great Britain, but that's actually like the capital or the birthplace of the system. So if the English is the global language of the system, and it's the native tongue of England itself, not the physical place that we call England, but the nation, the corporation. Corpo means body in Portuguese and perhaps in Latin, right? Is also not indigenous. The England, Great Britain is also not indigenous. There was other type of people there in England, and they were also conquered, but mentally. I'm not saying somebody else came outside in boats and conquered England. No, it was mentally. You had different ways to live life, to see the world, and one way took over all other ways, and then that translates into physical ways to do stuff like that. All right, And why am I saying all that? Because Saturn, it's Saturn Day, and we're talking about Saturn, and Saturn is the founding block, is the whole structure, is the whole skeleton, the bones of the system, of any system. If you want to build any system that is like big, that reaches to many people and many ways to see the world, you have to use Saturn energy by default, all right? Because you have to incorporate a lot of unique ways to think and communicate in your own way to think and communicate, okay? But we were talking about this because in their calendar, in the system's calendar, all right, today is the 17th day of the 9th month of the year 2022, all right? So at least this system or this version, because then they do updates. You have Windows 10, Windows 11, you have the update 2.0, 3.12, whatever, okay? Sometimes there is no system, there is various system, there is not one system. Other times they just update the system. It all depends on how the people react to their system, because with no people there is no system, all right? With no people there is no nations, countries, or corporations, right? And sometimes who is in power, sometimes they forget that and they treat people like shit, and that the system is shit because the people that are in the system are or ain't shit, you know? So, in the normal calendar, it's the 17th of the 9th month of the year 2022, and that resumes or that concludes into the number 5. So today it's easier to feel emotionally connected, to feel emotionally attached. It's easy to feel dependable of the system. It's easier. Sometimes you see even the normal people see the bullshit in the system, but today it's easier to feel, if it wasn't for my work, if it wasn't for my job, if it wasn't for all these years in school, I wouldn't be like this, I wouldn't be like that. And it's all upon you. You use the system, okay? Because everybody uses the system, just some people don't use it for their own thing, for their own personal purposes, okay? But today it's easier to be emotionally attached, and that means that people that are spending a lot of time in the system today, they might have a clouded judgment, that they might not have a clear perspective about what they do and about how and what they are how they're doing, and about they might not have a clear vision about what they are getting into, because they can be participated in certain circumstances and situations like they were told to do something, but they end up creating some chaos or creating some harmful energy, and now they are responsible for this. And this happens a lot in armies, where the soldiers do a lot of shit because they were told to, and they think that the responsibility is of the general or whoever told them to do that thing. But that's not true. The responsibility is on you, because you believed in them, you didn't fought back, you didn't ignore, so you complied. So you are more responsible than them. They're just using you, you know? They're just using you, all right? But we have another calendar. We have another type of calendar, which is the free age, the new age, the Freemason, the builders with no external predetermined values system, or the calendar, which is the natural calendar, because we live on a solar system, a system for your soul. You have soul, you have lar means home in Latin and Portuguese. So the solar system is a system, a construction, things that make sense between each other, where your unique space calls home, feels comfortable, and spends a lot of time in. Alright? And that's the difference between a home and a house. Many people that live in the big cities, they don't have a home, they have a house, because they spend way more time outside of their house. So it's just a building, it's not a home, it's a house, it's housing. You don't have the homing market, you have the housing market. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between 4th house and 10th house. Alright? So, in that calendar, in the astrological calendar, because that calendar is just us looking at the star and understanding the relationships between the planets that we observe, right? So in that calendar, it's the 24th degree, the 24th day of the 6th month of the 6th house, aka Virgo, of the year 10. And that all sums up to the number 4. So today, we can have a more clear perspective if you are more individual, more unique, and if you address more to your own fixed way to think, communicate, socialize, analyze, and have a realistic look upon the world. If you use that to make sense, or if you make sense out of that before you express and build upon those things, you can have more space for your individuality, creativity, and for your manifestations to be your priority. Because basically, astrology, numerology, gematria, rituals, and spells, basically, it all leads to, or it all serves one purpose, which is helping your spirit focusing on the right manifestations for itself. Because this body is already a manifestation and we have some desires in it. And sometimes we catch desires from the outside as well, and those do not fit the purpose of your spirit. And then you use astrology to know, like I'm in the jungle. In the jungle is wet, there is tigers and shit, but I don't want anything of this. So let's not spend a lot of time in this. Let's find a way out. And the way out is, like many people do in the real world, they follow the sun. But esoterically speaking, that's not the best way to do things, to just follow the sun. Alright? But if you are spending more time with yourself, if you are spending more time on your individual creative projects, you can achieve a more clear, more sophisticated, and more sufficient mind state in order to make sense out of yourself and out of your circumstances in the world. Because Saturn and Aquarius and Capricorn is all about seeing yourself in the world. Alright? It's like you having a more constant perspective outside of yourself, as in the body, not as in the spirit. Because Aquarius and Capricorns, they are more spiritual in that aspect. They spend less time outside of the spiritual space, but they spend, or we, because I have a lot of Aquarius energies, we spend more time outside of the physical space. And that leads to a spiritual connection. Then you have a lot of people, they spend more time in the body, in the desires, in relationships, in entertainment, so they spend more time outside of their spirit, because when you are paying attention to something outside of you, and it can be even feelings which are inside of your body but not of your spirit. Okay, so if you spend a lot of time feeling, thinking, enjoying things outside, which is not good and bad, those things are not good and bad. Just spending too much time on those things is bad. You know what I'm saying? So let's get started with tarot reading for today, for today's energy, with the Sun in Virgo. We want to pay attention to detail. We want to express ourselves in a more detailed way. Some scatteredness, which is okay. The Sun and Saturn are in conjuncting right now. And naturally, they have an opposition, Sun and Saturn. The Sun, it's like he knows he can gather a lot of attention, but he also knows that it still needs to learn more of itself in order to find a clear purpose to use all of that attention. And Saturn already has the purpose, already has the buildings and foundations laying down, but sometimes he's too harsh, cold, and distant, and in the end of the day, Saturn wants some attention, but it's kind of too prideful to go and ask for it. So they both need what each other, they both have what each other need, but they may be too prideful to relate directly and harmonious with each other. But ironically speaking, Aquarius and Leo is the best opposition astrologically speaking. So the card for today, between the Sun and the Saturn, in conjunction between Sun in Virgo, paying attention to detail, expressing ourselves in a more detailed way, while involving communication, relation in a more private, smart, and structured way, it's a misunderstanding. Okay, and we have reversed Ten of Pentacles, reversed Earth, so you can feel under the world. You can feel yourself in the underworld. You can feel pressured, limited, and blocked physically and mentally by your responsibilities, your physical situation, and the things that you can't do. And you might not focus on the things that you can do. You might not be aware of the things that you can expand with your own power because you are too focused on reacting and acting on your limitations and boundaries that you think you can't go over. But until you realize your powers, those limits and boundaries are helping you, because in our most powerful state we can manifest anything that we think and feel about. But imagine, and I want you to be very honest with yourself and with myself right now, imagine that you could manifest anything that you think and feel. And now I want you to tell me if the bullshit percentage was lower than like 80%. I bet you not, right? So those limits and boundaries are actually beneficial for many of people down here on this realm. If you were to manifest anything that you think and feel about, a lot of bullshit will be manifested, right? So the limits and boundaries of the world sometimes help us, but not today, because today is about our uniqueness and individuality. So don't let the world make you feel like you can't be unique and individual. Don't let past moments make you feel like you can't express yourself in your own unique individual way. Okay? And before you continue, let me just create some context over here. Saturn, we are here to talk about Saturn retro in Aquarius. Okay? We are building and limiting on a unique and changing way about the past, and specifically about past moments when we were a part of an individual group, or we were a part of a group with some individuals on it, including you or not. You might be just under some individual light. We are building and limiting on a unique and changing way about our past moments when you were forced to be unique and individual in order to maintain your limits and boundaries and to be a part of something. Also, past moments where you were forced to be unique and individual, but the reality, the world make you feel uncomfortable. Also, we are building and limiting in a unique and changing way about past moments where you wanted to express your unique, fixed way to think and communicate, but you were limited about the world because just by that, or more specifically, because you were not being real enough. You were not presenting the details or how to do it. You had this great idea, but you didn't have the know-how yet, because now retrograde, that idea or those moments, those memories might be coming back, and you'll be like, oh, right now I know I have the know-how. I know how to do, or at least I know how to do a part of that plan, and that's already better. But the people that were discussing those ideas with you, they might not have believed in your potential, and they are far away now, and you can't connect back with them. Or you can, but it's not worth it, for you and your personal building project, esoterically speaking. So, then we have the moon in Gemini, trining Saturn retrograde in Aries. This is a gift to alchemize, to mobilize, to transform in a smooth, light, and enjoyable way all these past moments that I was just talking about by feeling more connected, by feeling more light, by feeling more distracted and scattered, and by attracting people that are light, that talk light, that are open to conversations. And you don't need to say everything, you don't need to be super detailed. Just you saying it will take a huge load out of you, so you can take the best gems of all the past moments that I just said. Okay, because the moon is Gemini, it's mutable air ruled by Mercury. It doesn't deal very well with emotions, so today is not a great day to be emotional and to connect really deep and to be all spiritual. It's better to be more logical, or the way you can dissolve all those past limitations is to talk on a more simple and clear way. And for that we have Summer, Princess of Wands. Yes, we have a gift to create a new, unique way to internally deal with, process, take care, and improve our way to see the world and the unseen world, to a new way to internally excite ourselves, and a new way to express and show others our spiritual perspectives and how we excite and create imaginations about ourselves and our best visions and scenarios. But it's still a princess. It's still a new way to internally take care of your visions and imagination. So you need to make sure that these princesses grow into a queen so you can receive great spiritual support, because the Queen of Wands is receiving great spiritual support, receiving spiritual messages, synchronicities, that motivation. You receive a limit, or you go through a limit and boundary, and you be like, whoa, it was just that? It was that little leap? I thought it was a huge cliff. Because you have that fire, you have that charge that makes you levitate through the cliff. You know, I'm imagining a cliff, and instead of you falling, you have that excitement, that frequency and vibration that makes you levitate. Okay, that's like the Queen of Wands. You receive that great charge. All right. And lastly, but not least, we have a square between the Sun and the Moon. Right? Hold on. Some air over here. Yeah. Sun in Saturn in Aquarius, Moon in Gemini. A lot of air. You know what I'm saying? That's some air sign language, and farts as well. You have many types of farts, right? And the types of burps and sneezes as well. That is all air sign language, because sometimes you have like prolongated farts, or you have those short farts that reveals the status of your lower areas. If your lower areas are very, very hot, you're gonna have shorter farts, and you make even little poo-poos. It's too hot, you know? Or when your burp, sometimes here in Portugal, when you throw, or when you burp really like long and deep, we say it comes from the suburbs. You know, it comes from the suburbs. That one came from that one came from the hood, eh? Where it comes from the real depths of your intestines and shit. That's all air sign language. That all reveals how internally your organs are communicating with each other. And many times air pockets is a lack of communication, or you have two chakras, two organs that are communicating too much with each other, and they are forgetting about the other organs, you know? And then you create an air pocket, and then that develops other shit. Because when there is an air pocket, it means that the blood and all the good juices can't reach that space. So the old trees and people that live within you, they die, or they mutate into some rebel shit, to some demons that they never see the light of the sun. So they are all aggressive, and they hate the world where they live in. They want to die and go to another world. And you have people that are like that right now in your town, that they think this is all an illusion, and they want to die and to go to another world. But they are hating on the world that they're living in. They're like a disease to the world that we live in right now. And your skin releases air too. Yes, but you don't burp through your skin. It doesn't make those loud noises.
Yeah.
That's what I'm referring to. But yes,
They're more surface level.
yeah, your eyes also exchange a lot of air. You don't realize that, but now I'm going a bit far-fetched. But that's the difference between, because I have Pisces South Node. That's the difference between a powerful Pisces and a weak ass Pisces. A powerful Pisces knows when you're talking out of La La Land, because there is always a connection. La La Land is real, but on its own space. And sometimes when you talk about those imaginative things, they are not real. It's just the people that you are talking to, they don't see it as real. And as a powerful Pisces, you know that. And it's okay, because I'm talking out of my imagination. I'm not expecting you to understand fully. I'm actually doing this for myself. That's the whole basis of my channel, is me talking. I'm not talking specifically to you. I'm talking, But as an Aquarius Sun and Stellium, I have way more responsibility, or I'm aware of that responsibility more than Libras and Geminis. But your eyes exchanging air and light and shit, that's how like dojutsu in Naruto works, which is you have some power on your eyes, and Sharingan or Byakugan, it's through your eyes, especially Sharingan, because it makes genjutsu, it makes illusions. It sends chakra through the air, okay, your own life energy, into somebody else's system, and it perturbs their system, and that's called mesmerizing. I think that's the real term. It's mesmerizing. When you get mesmerized by somebody, and they make you feel in a certain way, that's genjutsu. Okay, that's real life genjutsu. And it can be like it is on Naruto. It can be real Tsukuyomi, where like Itachi used Tsukuyomi on Kakashi, right? And on Kakashi's perspective, Virgo S, and Itachi is a Gemini S, okay? So the Gemini, being all light and shit, makes the Virgo spend, in 1 minute on real life, Kakashi spent 72 hours being poked by a sword. By a sword, that's fucking air sign reference, right? Because Naruto and mostly animes, they are inspired by Eastern astrology, philosophy, and Jewish literature. Like the Susanoo of the Uchiha clan, that power, the Susanoo, there is a Japanese called Susanoo. And me growing up, like I didn't knew Susanoo, that was the name, but I always felt that connection. And then I see people that are very surprised to learn about Naruto and anime being inspired by Eastern astrology, and legends, but for me that's very natural, because I know that any movie, any book is inspired by astrology, astronomy, and spirituality, But in that specific case, the Gemini Itachi, Uchiha Itachi, was torturing Kakashi, which is a Virgo, okay? And in 1 minute, the Virgo experienced 72 hours of pain, which is a 9 as well, right? And that means that Geminis, being all light, all playful, all joker, they can make Virgos really, really worry. And in 1 minute, Virgos lose half of their air, just worrying about some shit that the Gemini is talking so lightly. And we are going through that right now, alright? Between the sun and the moon. Bro, real shit, I was about to take a card about the sun and the moon. And my mind, my spirit, circled all the way back to from farts, sneezes, to exchanging air through the eyeballs, to Naruto, to Sharingan, and that episode when Itachi goes into the village trying to kidnap Naruto, and Kakashi was there, and Itachi makes Kakashi under Tsukuyomi, and the Gemini is torturing the Virgo with an illusion, with something that ain't real, but the Virgo is just worrying and responding about that shit. And it feels like 3 days passed in 5 minutes, That's some Virgo talk. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about that shit, Virgos. You keep that to yours. You be a really good hermit. You be a really good hermit, Virgos, about that shit. Don't tell me. Now tell me how to make some real good money and don't feel burned out. That's I want to learn that. I'm learning that. Because I have that Taurus moon in the 8th house. So I burn out real easy. That doesn't mean I give up. But that doesn't mean I'm not burned out as well. Right? But then I have that Libra rising, right? So I always have balance. So then short moments of rest can be very deeply refreshing to me, right? So I get easily burned out, but I also rest very easily. And I don't need to rest to be able to bring and manifest all that motivation, because I'm already fixed in that ability to bring my deep desires into some real form, aka Taurus in the 8th house. Taurus, real form, 8th house, some real desires, some real intentions. So, but between the sun and the moon today, we have a square. So we need to learn how to be light about our worries, works, routine, and patterns. So when you have an Uchiha Itachi throwing some illusions at you by being so light, and they playing scary, they playing cool, and you, because you don't need to be a Virgo to fall under that illusion, to fall under that genjutsu, because everybody can be a Virgo for a short while. When you are worrying about something, you are being a Virgo for a while, okay, for a second, and not even a second, okay, because the thoughts and feelings are way longer expressions of your spirit's movement. But when you are worrying and trying to make sense of something, and that's the key part, the worrying, the feeling of being clanked up, which leads to suffering. And why do we think that astrologers always connect the 6th house to health, right? Because worrying and stressing perturbs your health, and the 6th house represents the inner nerves. The 3rd house represents the outer nerves and your hands, how you reach out to the external world, and the 6th house represents that, but it's the internal side of Mercury. It represents your internal hands, your internal connections, the nerves. And if your nerves are too nervous, they can't communicate. And that makes sense, because when your nerves are too nervous, they are being too full of themselves. And that's the Virgo energy misunderstanding the Aquarius energy. Okay? They are being too much of themselves, but their purpose is to not be too much of themselves, but allow others to communicate through them. So the nerves can't be too nervous, because they will not let the other organs communicate and shit, right? So we are learning today to not be Kakashi in that situation, to not suffer 72 hours of pain by being poked by a sword. Sword always represents air, cutting some shit, perforing some shit. And I have this theory where swords specifically, or not specifically, but most likely katanas from Japan, because I had a past life in Japan, or at least not as a mind. Okay, I'm not saying that I literally live there, but as an awareness, I spend a lot of time in those waters. So a katana, in my perspective, is a big ass wand. And by you moving the katana, because every time, like in real videos from YouTube, in animes, in movies, the katanas, they have very specific sounds when they pass through the air, you know. So this is an idea. This is not a fact. This is not a rock fact. This is an idea, okay? And this is pseudo. Yes, this is pseudo. This is pseudo facts. This is metaphysics. A physical fact. It is not yet fully real. There's still some potential energy. Okay, this is kind of mental Schrodinger's cat. Is it real or is it not? But if you're talking about it, it's already real. But it's not really, really real. Because you can touch it or do shit with it. But you can, in the mind. But my idea is that the katanas are actually wands. And by moving them in a specific way, in a specific angle, with your specific intention, and I've been very focused on that part of the intention because me and Miss Daria are watching One Piece right now, and we have Zoro, that character of the swords. He uses 3 swords, the 3 of swords, and he's always creating new awarenesses of its own powers, right? And he learned, spoiler alert, he learned how to cut through steel, and he had this flashback moment where its master was teaching him that your sword, or a real master swordsman, the sword of a master swordsman only cuts what the master wants. So he tried to cut a piece of paper with his katana, the master, and he was not able to because he didn't want to. And then Zoro, using that same principle, which was actually the principle of cutting nothing, of cutting through your spirit, cutting through space, you know? Because when you try to cut something, you are hitting it. And Zoro was very much about forcing its way through. Instead of cutting, he was bashing his swords. But then he was cutting through nothing. So there was no resistance. And he said that he was in that scene, he was channeling his intention to the sword. And that's why metals, crystals and gems are perfect for spiritual practice, because both crystals and both metals, they have a very structured structure, and that allows for a repetition, a propagation of frequency and vibration. Sound travels faster on more dense things than more dispersed things. So the katana, by being metal, and then katanas are made in specific ways with specific metals, and Japan is from the East, so they see spiritual stuff first, but then the West goes deeper into that shit and develops better ways, right? But then your intention, your frequency and vibration would make the katana and the air around the katana vibrate in a specific frequency. And I have to make a video on this. And then using that and the scientific principle of phasing, when 2 objects are either on the same frequency and vibration or on opposite frequency and vibrations, they pass through each other or something like that. But if an object is vibrating higher than another object, it causes destruction. It causes a cut. Because what is a cut? You are severing. Again, there is a lot of things related with severing. That it's about separation. Separation. 7 in Latin is septim. Sept, the scepter. The septrum, the sword. Do you know how is sword in Portuguese? Espada, spade, sever, septim. Okay? Separate, sever the connection. You destroy. You know what I'm saying? So the katana will basically be an extension of your frequency and vibration. It will be a connection, a rod between your internal frequency, and it will bring that internal frequency into the real world. And if your frequency and vibration is higher than the object that you're trying to cut, it will cut. And then you can even make air attacks. You can make, by swinging your katana in a specific way, you can create air waves and air blades and vacuum waves, and you can cut through stone, literally, you know, because if you shoot that works with water as well. If you shoot very high pressure water or very high pressure air, it can cut, it does cut through steel. It's not it can, it does cut through steel. You know what I'm saying? Hi Nate, welcome to the live stream. We're just rambling here a little bit. So, all of that sword conversation to show you how the sword represents the air energy. And in that episode of Naruto, which is exactly infinitely what we are talking here right now, the square between the moon in Gemini and the sun in Virgo, Itachi made an illusion on Kakashi. Itachi is a Gemini, Kakashi a Virgo. The Gemini made the Virgo spend 72 hours in an illusion of suffering where he was crucified, being poked by a sword, and those 72 hours was only in 1 minute. That's the truth right there. So cool. I love it. Nice. Thank you. Thank you, Nate. Thank you. And the card, bro, and the card for that is Fixed Air, Queen of Swords. How do you avoid spending a lot of time suffering in your own mind because of the environment around you, because of your surroundings? By being more Aquarian, by having your own fixed way to think and communicate, having your own fixed way to stay light, to see yourself from afar, to see yourself not of the world, but just passing through the world. And that means that today we can receive great mental support that helps us stay out of those illusions of worrying, okay? Alright? And no, it's more like if you learn the lesson by feeling lighter about the details and the patterns that you see, act and pay attention to, if you feel lighter about it by communicating and releasing your thoughts and ideas, you will receive great mental support that will make you realize, or others around you will see you as more unique, individual, rebellious, opposing, new, fresh, and especially in today's age, people want to be around that. But let me tell you one thing. As an Aquarius Sun and Stellium, many people want to be a part of your group, but they also want to be the star of the group, or they don't want to let you know that they want to be a part of the group because of you. So people have to go through their pride, and then many people, that happened on my Pokemon Unite team. People left because I believed in them more than they believed in themselves. You know, I believed that they could go far away, and I am demanding. If you are a part of my team, you need to do your best. Not right now, not every single day, but you gotta be on that track every single day, every single time. And I knew that they could do it, and I was always pushing that back up, you know. And they said it was too rough, they said it was too tough, and they couldn't handle it because they didn't believe in themselves. And that's because Aquarius are not tough and rough. We just want people that are as serious as us. Simple. Because that's how you should be. You should be really serious about your life. Like, you play the piano, you play the guitar, you play video games, and you have those celebrities that be all serious about their music and about their rapping and about all the fucked up shit that they do, so then they can make music about it. But they don't take themselves serious. They don't take their life serious. They don't take their limits and boundaries serious. They ain't shit, right? Because, like I said, you play music, you play the piano, you play video games, you play a role, you play a character on a movie as a celebrity or whatever. Okay? And they take that too serious, and they don't take their life and individuality serious. That's why they need to die. Not the person, but the celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Because Miley Cyrus was Miley Cyrus before she was a celebrity. then she became a celebrity. So she has another thing around her. She has another cloth. She has another layer around her. So she's Miley Cyrus, the celebrity. Like, you know, it's another thing. So the celebrity needs to die, not Miley Cyrus, but the celebrity. The things that she does and says that other people celebrate. Because 19% of what celebrities do, people don't know about it. 95% of what celebrities do, people don't know about it. People celebrate, people put only a small part of the actual personality of the celebrity onto a high horse. And that ain't shit. That doesn't work. And that's why the world is not working right now. Okay? We have this, that type of celebrity needs to die. Not the person, but how they do stuff. What the masses celebrate and think it's cool and think it's the best way to be. No. The best way to be is not to like to be the celebrities, is to be your goddamn self. And then become a celebrity. You know? Okay, this is some real Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius talk. I do not fail on that aspect because I do not have Saturn in Aquarius, but I do have Saturn in Aries, sextiling this motherfucking Saturn in Aquarius, so I know what I'm talking about. Because then I have my Saturn Sun and my Saturn and I have my Aquarius Sun and my Aquarius stellium that helps me align that opportunity into a more relatable, real Saturn perspective. So we can put the paper out here and let's go into the Astro reading. So we have Saturn in Aquarius, right? In retrograde, and we have the Sun in Virgo. So, but we already talked about that. The Saturn in Aries crew. Let's go. We are here to literally create a new world. All right. So we have to take our new feelings. We have to understand that we are a new feeling. If you have Saturn in Aries, when your spirit got the idea to come here, it was a completely new idea, even to your spirit. Not just to the spirits around here, it was even a new idea to your own spirit. And your spirit thought that this place was the best place to build that idea. Let me tell you, it was not. But that doesn't mean that it can't be. Because if you have Saturn in Aries, Aquarius, and Pisces, and it's a fucking gauntlet. 11, 12, and first house. If you have Saturn in the 11th, 12th, or first house, you are here to realize, bro, this world cannot support my idea and vision. So let me change this fucking world so it can support my idea. And you know why? Because whoever has Saturn in 11, 12, and first house, by default, your idea, your vision, your purpose is individual and spiritual. So the universe actually gives you tools and gives you more getaway situations so you can change the world and be selfish, but people around you either don't see it as selfish, or they might be, impactful as selfish, but they're like the shy girl that just wants to fuck. You know, they'll be like, they're so selfish, but internally, they'll be like, I want to be like him. I want to be as selfish as him and don't give a fuck. Because they know that's why they're here as well. You know, to be somebody, to be some shit. It doesn't matter what world you are in. It will not support you. You have to make it support you. Okay? But Saturn in Aries, it's like, we are here to create a new world. And let me tell you another thing. Perhaps you will not make it in this world. Perhaps you are here to really, bro, I'm tired of this world. And you might not be tired of this world. You might be tired of this type of world. You might be tired of this dense, accumulating, slow-moving worlds. Not me, I have Taurus Moon, I like this shit. But I'm learning, but I like it. You know? But you live through here, and spiritually, while you live through here, spiritually, you are creating a solid vision. And then when you die, you go there and it's already built for you. Or you did that in the past life. You were building and now you are living it. And now you are doing it. And in a way, if you are building a new world on this world, instead of creating your own, it means that you were like challenging yourself. Or it means that you have some lessons to learn when it deals to association and team working. Or it means that you have a group of spirits that you are connected and you are responsible for bringing something new into reality. Or a group of spirits see you as responsible. And with Saturn in Aries, you might not even need to find a soul group. You might need to detach from your old soul group and create a whole new spiritual system. That's why in my videos, I don't say shout out to the soul group. I say shout out to my soul group. Because Saturn in Aries, Sun in Aquarius, Stellium in Aquarius, Moon in Taurus. It's my soul group. Fuck the soul group. Shout out to my soul group. And that's the whole difference. That's infinitely different. But Saturn in Aries goes deeper than what I can logically explain to you right now. Okay? Momo?
Ela entra no armário.
It's in from outside.
No.
Because I can talk about it really, really good, but it doesn't necessarily make sense in a general way. And I want to show how real this shit is. Alright? And that's actually one of my purpose. That's actually because I have not a lot of purposes. I have some purposes, but they are all connected to the same, which is showing how real spirituality is. Alright? And that's it. Saturn in Aries, show how real your imaginations, your feelings, and your desires are. Showing by doing it, by example, building a new world out of my unique desire. Because fuck all the rest.
Yeah.
For real. Bro, if I can't be myself, you better kill me first. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of living limited. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of living limited. If I can't be myself, if I can't enjoy my desires in the way that I want to, if I can't expand my awareness in the way that I want and need to, you better kill me first. I will not work for your fucking system. Only if it benefits me. And I'm not saying that I hate the system. I'm not saying that I hate the ones in power. It's just you got your thing and I got mine. That's okay. We don't need to compete. We don't need to go out, kill each other. You do your thing up the block, I do my thing down the block. And then we share things. I can enjoy the stuff you selling. You can enjoy the stuff I selling. We don't need to be here fighting every fucking day. But if I have an imagination and you are blocking me from reaching that imagination, then by default we are warring. Because you have no motherfucking business impeding me of experience wherever I want, need, and deserve to experience. Then you being a demon. And demons, you don't talk with demons. You don't conversate with demons. Shout out to Seven Bomar. Many times I remember this. allegory that he usually talks. When Solomon, he had his rings of wisdom, his Saturns, his experiences. So if he had 2 rings, he was like on his 20s. Okay, that mind form was already experienced, still fresh and young, but already experienced. And he used the demons to build the foundations of the temple, like every wise spirit does. But then he got bored. Svan didn't say that part, but we, from the subconscious community, we know those real desires. We know why your grandma was called Big Mama. We know that. We know she was twerking. We know your grandma invented twerk. But you, as the granddaughter, you had access to the internet and you made it popular. You know? But Solomon got bored, or he wanted to impress a bitch, or he wanted to be... He couldn't be just one emperor, he wanted to be the most emperor of the emperors. Something like that. He got lost, and he took the rings, and he started speaking with the demons, and the demons said something, oh, if you didn't have the rings, we could beat you up in the fight. Some shit like that.
Yeah.
And
You couldn't even beat me.
So he was so powerful that he took the ring. He was in the fucking demon's conversation. He was dancing in the demon's tango. And then, I don't know how accurate this story is, but the story says that Solomon, the sun and the moon, the solemn man, woke up many years later naked in a river. What does that mean? He got lost in his desires, he lost his wisdom, and for the 30 years down the line he realizes, bro, I'm in so much deep shit, and all he can do is feel bad for himself. You know what I'm saying? And I even forgot why I started talking about this story, but it has something to do with wisdom and knowledge. No, even before that.
Yeah.
Even before that. It was about Saturn in Aries.
The rings.
The rings, no,
Okay,
even
that
before
was-
that. Even why I started talking about that. You know?
Mhm.
It was about bringing your world from the esoteric realm into the real realm. Yeah, I remember. You don't talk with the demons, which is somebody that is blocking you from experiencing you what you need to experience, what you need and deserve, because sometimes you are like, they can't impede you from experience what you deserve, but they can perturb you. Like, let's say you deserve a pot of gold, you're enjoying your pot of gold, and you have somebody coming in. Let's go. We have somebody coming in. Oh, you only got that pot of gold because you a bitch, or because you this, or because you that, and they start throwing you stones. They have no business throwing you stones while you enjoying your pot of gold, because you deserve it. So now they a demon, and you don't speak with demons. You kill them. You straight, these type of demons. You straight cut them with a sword. And on Demon Slayer, which is also an anime, they use a specific sword, a specific thought, a specific idea, which is in that anime, it's a mineral that spends a lot of... It's on the eastern mountain of Japan, so it spends a lot of time catching sun, so it is an expressive, masculine, light, hot way to think and communicate, and they cut the demon's neck and the demon can't regenerate. Nate is saying that's why it's important to separate all our internal colors and look at them as the observer. That's true, but that's what the shadow government did too much. They separated too much the colors, so now they are afraid of darkness. They are afraid of the feminine. They are afraid of even of their intuition. That's why they have so many systems and predicaments and predictions and prophecies and shit like that. Because by joining all of your colors and creating darkness, that's how you manifest, right? That's how you manifest some real good shit. But if you don't separate and do what Nate is saying, you keep manifesting bullshit. So then you need to separate, realize I'm the observer, I'm absorbing and absorbing, I'm observing and then absorbing all of this. So I can do it in this way. I don't need to do it in that natural way. I can do it on my way. My way.
My way.
Right? So, Saturn in Aquarius, as long as we don't get lost in the darkness. But sometimes you need to get lost in the darkness. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you need to get lost in the darkness. Because the darkness is where we exist. And I was a scout boy for a long time. So every fucking Saturn day I had to go to fucking church. And I would sleep so much on church. Fuck this shit. My spirit is like, nope. You don't get my attention here, nope. My spirit was like, nope. I want me to pay attention to this spell, nope. Oh, it's time to give money to the church now, nope. Oh, no, nope. Always going to my own space, sleeping time. I always thought it was moon, it's easy to... Like I was like 7-8 months years old and my parents would take me to some parties over here around and I would sleep all night. People drunk as fuck, super loud music, and I would sleep all night. Nobody could perturb my rest, bitch. Only Momo now, only Momo. Because she's so cute.
You have to come back.
But, getting lost in the darkness, yeah, because that's where we exist, and always remember I have to make some Bible readings. I think I can do it now because the thing is my Bible is in Portuguese, so then I have to translate it to English for you guys, and then I have to translate from English to esoteric language, and that can take some while, or it can be confusing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get the English.
Yeah, right. We have to lose ourselves in order to find ourselves, and that's all connected to change. That's all connected to transformation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because sometimes your spirit is tired of manifesting all the same shit, because you have a process which is the spirit alone, no darkness. That's how you start. No darkness, no light, no thing. Then you create something, one thing, two things, three things, four things, and then that accumulates. Then it's your first darkness, your first daughter. Then you separate that shit, and now it's sufficient. Now it's more like a man. Now it's directed. Because all men come from women's. No woman comes from men. Okay? And this is not sexism, this is a fact. All men come from woman, but no woman comes from a man. So the man, as in thought, not as in I have a penis and testosterone and shit like that, or I'm better than woman, or woman. No. I never participated on that war shit. But, so then, after you accumulate, you separate a little. You organize. Okay, you don't separate. Then you organize, you choose some lights, you make them in a certain way, and that's when you real manifest. But then, your spirit gets tired of that shit. Mm-hmm. Alright? Your spirit doesn't want that system anymore. That spirit doesn't want that organization anymore. And I have a video on my channel. That's how we get sick. When you get sick of that shit, spiritually, you get sick physically. So then you need to accumulate all that darkness again. Okay? And then, because that's actually very 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and then 9th house. 5th house, you are fixed in a desire. Alright? You paid a lot of attention, you brought a lot of lights together. To where? To your 4th house, to your more personal space, right? So, and that, this darkness, we call it the sun, but the sun was a huge bunch of darkness before it got excited. And this actually explains this process, alright? Then, 6th house, we organize it. We make it work, right? Then 7th house Libra, we take what we don't want, okay? And we create relationships, we create things to communicate, we create reflections,
Yeah.
we create things to share our individuality, things to go into. You get a partner to fuck with, right? Then 8th house, all of that accumulates again because those lights attracted and created more lights, so they got heavier, so that accumulates a new darkness. But that's very scientifical. If in the same volume you accumulate more and more substance, more and more particles on the same volume, the pressure, the movement of the particles, and the temperature will rise until the force exerted by the particles and the limiting volume is greater by the particles on the inside. So they break the limiting volume, right? So that's the 8,000. It accumulates so much fixed water, deep shit. It accumulates. Deep darkness, you so lost on your desires, lost, and then boom, big ass Big Bang, 9,000. Now you a cosmical being aligned with the North Node. Okay, you just
You see more possibilities.
you fucked real well, you smoked real good, you eat real well, you got a beautiful dream, you got this beautiful transcendental meditation, and now you have some real shit to talk about. Now you have this alignment, you have this way to go about the world, you have this way to make yourself excited and share. Okay, so that's what the shadow government is afraid of. They be getting high on some weird shit. I'm not going to tell words and names because there is a whole community lost on that information. Okay, it's just that, let's say they're vampires. Okay, they're vampires. All right, they be high on some shit, and not just that, they be trying. So how do you know? How do you think people knew how to make cocaine? Because cocaine is natural. It comes from coca plant. But cocaine is not natural. It was made in the fucking lab. No indigenous people know how to make cocaine. They know how to make It's a more natural thing. Now, cocaine, it's different. So, basically the shadow government did that and they discovered that shit and then they released that to the public, and they did that with the internet. They did that with a whole bunch with the steam engine. All right? So, with the how to make concrete. Okay? And the shadow government is afraid of that darkness, of that accumulation, of being deeply lost in their desires, because they are kind of weak mentally, so they got traumatized because they got lost in their desires and they couldn't live at will. They couldn't express their individuality and uniqueness after that, aka Sag, aka 9,000. They couldn't do that in their own way. That's why every fucking celebrity and powerful politician, they are religious. They are fucking religious. And that's 9,000. Now that's actually 10,000. That's actually a big misconception. Many people associate the religion with the 9,000, but it's actually the 10,000. It's actually the 10,000 because you make a church. I'm talking about real religion, okay? That is like has huge followers, huge churches, huge amounts of money. Because back in the day, here on Europe, if the king of Portugal or the king of Spain or the king of France, if they wanted to do some shit, if they wanted to marry a girl or if they wanted to break up, they would ask for the Pope. They would ask the Pope for permission. So back in the day, the church ruled, and it's still, not back in the day, the church still rules the fucking world. So you're not telling me religion is 9,000. No, religion is 10,000.
Spirituality
Yeah,
and wisdom
real shit, Miss Daria.
is 9,000.
Spirituality, wisdom, responsibility, and discernment is 9,000. Religion, remaking, repeat, recycle, doing something again.
Comes after it.
It's after it. Okay? So, the 10,000, where you make the whole churches, the whole organizations, the Mason lodges, the pyramid schemes, that's religion, that's 10,000. Right? Right. Okay, so now yes, Astro reading of Saturn in Aquarius retrograde. We already talked about the alignment between the Sun and the Moon and Saturn. So Saturn retro in Aquarius, misunderstanding Venus in Virgo. Our relationships will have some troubles, or they will not be understanding clearly what we are going through right now, or vice versa. You might not be able to understand what your relationships are going through right now, because you and your partners, either business or romantic, are processing a lot of shit from the past, because Venus is not in retrograde, okay? But specifically about reality, how you build shit, how you gain structure, how you expand your business, your relationships might not be able to support you directly, because they are very about detail, being there in time, making that shit work, and you want to expand, you want to make that shit bigger and more unique and more original. Saturn retro in Aquarius, trining Mars in Gemini, a gift to release, to heal, or to resurrect past moments of individuality, limiting and constructing, using your own unique fixed way to think and communicate by being very passionate, motivated, frustrated, and angry about your communication, your thinking, your relationship, your associations, what you like to do, what you don't like to do, and that just reminds me of Pokemon Unite for some reason. You know, just by being passionate about Pokemon Unite is helping me do whatever I have to do with Saturn retro in Aquarius. But that's more special for me because I have the Aquarius Sun and the Aquarius Stellium conjuncting Saturn retro in Aquarius as well. So that's I'm not telling you that Pokemon Unite will help you, okay? It's helping me. Then Saturn retro in Aquarius, sextiling Jupiter retro in Aries. So we have an opportunity to expand our uniqueness and individuality and how we associate that with others by remembering and feeling comfortable and bringing back past moments where we expanded our wisdom and knowledge by being and doing unique things. And we have an opportunity to bring structure to our spirituality, our day-to-day life, and how we connect deeply with the people, places, and things around us by bringing past moments where we associated ourselves with unique individuals, or we associated ourselves just by being unique and original. Alright? Then Saturn in Aquarius retro, squaring Uranus in Taurus retro, learning how to build a new future or a new present by studying how old unique changes brought in that time new, but right now old unique stability and ways to associate and build businesses and organizations. And this is a very interesting alignment. It's a very interesting alignment because Uranus in Taurus and Saturn in Aquarius. So you have Saturn stability, Taurus stability, then you have Aquarius uniqueness and Uranus uniqueness and change. So it's very complementary, but you have to learn how to be more real while remaining unique and individual. Then Saturn retro in Aquarius, fatal attracting Neptune retro in Pisces, feeling more real, being more communicative, unique and structured about old dreams, old imaginations, old spiritual relationships, old nightmares, old past lives in general, or we can realize lessons that we learned from the past lives or that we have to learn right now because we made some mistakes in our past lives. Lastly, but not least, Aquarius, Saturn retro in Aquarius, fatal attracting Pluto retro in Capricorn, feeling more light, feeling more open and being more open and strong and masculine and direct about past moments where the whole world transformed and it traumatized us, it created some taboos, it created some wounds, or taking power and control over certain issues right now because you didn't do it in the past and you have to do it right now and maybe you are panicking a little bit, or because you did it in the past and you transformed yourself, you didn't let Pluto or the world come around you and transform your ass. No, you transformed yourself and you learned from those situations and you are doing it right now just because you remember how beneficial it is. Okay? And let's start with the natal chart reading. Oh, I'm getting hot. My internal air is heating up. Let's go. So, if you have Sun in Aries, Moon in Aries, Rising in Aries, or Mars in Aries, you are sextiling Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius retro, so you have an opportunity to bring shit from the past or to bring some unique shit that can be more well received as well. And you have Nine of Wands. You have the opportunity to elevate and rise your imagination, your creativity, your individuality, your spiritually belief systems, and you can elevate the expression, the enthusiasm, the power, and the juice of all those things. If you have Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising, Taurus Sun, Taurus Venus, or if you have a Scorpio Sun sign, because Taurus is ruled by the Earth as well, and your Earth sign is the sign that is opposing to your Sun sign. So if you have Scorpio Sun sign, this reading is a little bit for you as well. You are squaring, so you need to learn, or you are learning, how to pay more attention and to claim power and control over, and to bring attention to your own feelings, your own dreams, your own illusions, your own manifestations, your own emotions, and you have to, specifically this for like Tauruses, yes, you have to pay more attention to real spiritual ships and not just business ships, fucking ships, spending money ships, paying me shit ships. No, you have to pay attention and take action, take power and control in some real spiritual ships. Okay, Taurus? If you have a Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising, or Gemini Mercury, you are trining this Saturn retro in Aquarius. You have a gift to be more structured, to be more unique and individual, or to remind yourself or others how to be more unique and individual, and that's okay in the more comfortable, because the retrograde energy always brings some sense of comfort, some sense of patience, calming and toning down. That's why retrograde energies always help fixed signs. All right, let's go, Geminis. You're thinking too much, just do it. Mutable fire. You guys, Geminis, you always running away from spirituality. Stop. You can't run away from it. Mutable fire, you have a gift. Mutable fire, Prince of Wands. You have a gift to create a new external way to show and to take care of your spiritual business. So you are creating a new way to associate, to be seen as, and to take care, to be responsible of a network of information that deals with creativity, individuality, spirituality, being yourself, and uplifting yourself. Let's go. If you have a Cancer Sun, a Cancer Moon, or a Cancer Rising, you are misunderstanding Saturn retro in Aquarius, and Saturn is a retro in Aquarius for a long time. So this reading is just like an update, you know? 5 of Wands. Oh, you are connecting to the wrong visions, to the wrong imaginations. You are connecting to the wrong spiritual systems. You might be misunderstanding your connections and your relationships because somebody is making you feel excited. Somebody is making you feel lighter and distant, but what you need as a Cancer is some good support and somebody that keeps you on track. Not somebody that makes you fly high, you need somebody that keeps you on track. But through misunderstandings, it's when we manifest better sometimes. So myself, by having the Aquarius Sun, I might be misunderstanding this, and maybe you are feeling weird because your relationships are exposing too much, and that's what you need so you can open up and live a life out of your shell. You know, Cancers? But that's, you are connecting deeply to a vision, a feeling, an action, an expression, a spiritual belief system, or a creative purpose. Leo Suns, Leo Moons, and Leo Risings, you are opposing Saturn retro in Aquarius. Not, you have some gifts that you don't want to accept. You have some lessons you don't want to learn. And in the end of the day, you will realize, and it will make you laugh, how stubborn you were being, because it's just doing what you do, but in a more unique way, in a more intelligent, and I don't give a fuck type of way. Alright? 2 of Pentacles, okay? Relating on a more serious, real, structured, and private and selective way, or just you creating more real relationships, but you want them to be exciting, you want them to be all about you, you want them to pay attention to you, and let me tell you, real relationships have nothing to do with that. Real relationships, it's about you you the best, no, you the best, no, you the best, no, you the best, always like that, always like changing that charge. But Leos, you like to hold on to the charge and make people spin around you, but the relationship, it's more like a straight line. You have 2 points, it's like an H, to be honest. An H, we have an individual, an I, and then another individual, another I, and then you have a bridge that connects them. But you as a Leo, you want to be the I, and you want the other I to spin around you. That ain't shit. That ain't shit. And they have to make some videos talking about letters and words, because it's really cool. Like the I represents basically your spirit. The ball detached from the stick. The ball is your spirit, your space, and the stick is your creation, your body. And the spirit is separated from the body because it's not the body. That's the I. The I. That's what you are right now. A spirit controlling a body. That's a I. Because when you are just a spirit, you don't call yourself I, because you have no thing to call yourself I.
Yeah.
So you don't call yourself shit, you know? You can't. You're a fucking spirit. No thing. You
Yeah.
can't call yourself.
And when you start calling, you are already creating a mind state.
Yeah.
Or a mind.
True. So Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, Virgo Rising, and Virgo Mercury, you also misunderstanding. You are not seeing the opportunity of expansion, of relating, opening up to the world by being yourself. You're too stuck in details, you're too stuck in routine, and too stuck in what's comfortable. 3 of Pentacles, but you have here the opportunity to expand your awareness, to expand what you know about your world around you and about the world in general. to create a new or to complete an awareness about the world around you and the world in general. Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising, Libra Mars, and Libra Saturns, you guys are trining Saturn retro in Aquarius, so you have the gift to be more structured, to be more unique, and to be more individual while maintaining a sense of relatability and while being way less gullible. But ironically, you can be more gullible because you can feel more connected to shit from the past, and a past relationship might come back up, and you'll be like, oh, they're more unique than before. No, they just look more unique than before. On the negative side, they can really be more unique. That's up to you to decide. I don't know. Let's go. I don't know about your shit. I know about a lot of shit. I don't know about your shit. Oh, what are you trying to run? What are you trying to... Oh, the same as Gemini's. Mutable Fire. Prince of Wands. Yeah, it's that structure. I'm always saying this, even to Mysteria, that Libras and Geminis, they kind of waste the air energy, and the Aquarius are the ones that really know how to use that energy, but we do it too much because the Libras and Geminis don't do it enough, which is just be all air, communicative, open, out and about, but structured with a sense of individuality and uniqueness, and that's what lacks on Libras and Geminis, that structure, that sturdiness, and you and Geminis are receiving the same gift. With that structure, you are more free to be scattered, to be spread out, to reach more people and to reach more subjects, because you have an anchor, you have one point to come back to, so you are creating a new way to openly and expressively show your light, your creativity, imagination, and spiritually believing systems. Let's go Scorpio, Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising, Scorpio Mars, and Scorpio Pluto. You guys are squaring Saturn retro in Aquarius. You need to learn how to open up, be more light, smart, and sophisticated about past moments where maybe your deep desires were exposed, or you didn't met your deep desires because you didn't open up and you didn't communicate, or you were too internal and you fucked up, or you didn't got fucked up real good. No, you fucked up a relationship because you were too internal, and then when you opened up, it was so much shit accumulated, you stung real hard. And you know what Aquarius do to Scorpions? They cut your fucking tail and then little pieces, and then they give you to the Taurus, and the Taurus can cook it real good. But you got 9 of Wands, yeah. If you learn, what you receive out of that learning process, your reward is the ability to elevate your spirit, to feel and see yourself lighter, and to have higher desires, higher creativity, higher, better, truther, cleaner spiritual belief systems. Let's go Sagittarius, Sag Sun, Sag Moon, Sag Rising, and Sag Jupiter. You are sextiling. You guys also, don't tell me it's mutable fire again, because you're also receiving this great gift of stability and structure. No, but it's cardinal fire. Yeah, okay, so you're not receiving so much the structure, you're receiving more the individuality. You're receiving more the uniqueness or the courage to stay on par, on track with that, okay? We have Cardinal Fire, King of Wands. You have the opportunity to create new feelings and new visions about yourself. You have the opportunity to create new actions and new expressions based out of the new feelings and visions about yourself and the world. And then this is King of Wands. Okay, so with your power, with your authority, because you have those new feelings and new visions, you can give great spiritual support to your business or to somebody around you that needs that great new way to see yourself lighter and higher, because you have now as a Sag that more stronger, more solid sense of your own individuality and spiritual presence. Let's go Capricorns. Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, Capricorn rising and Capricorn Saturn, you have Virgo energy can perturb your ass, so keep that in mind. Virgo energy can make things were going smooth and things are still going smooth, but you think things are not going smooth. You know? Hmm? You guys, fatal attracting Saturn retro in Aquarius. You're feeling more light about your past. You're feeling more unique about your past, and you want to build something internally that makes you feel more unique and more communicative about the past. Reversed fixed air, reversed Queen of Swords. Yeah, okay, you got Aquarius right next to you. You might just not see it. You might just be a little bit afraid. You might just think it's too much. It's too rebellious. It will sacrifice your position, your stability, and the things that you make you think you are independent. But let me tell you, if you have a job and it's not your business, and if you're part of a country, if you're part of an economy, you're not independent. You're not safe. You can lose all that shit tomorrow. So you better start building something that you can't lose. Or if you lose, it's in you, not on you. And that's what this Saturn in Aquarius is teaching you. Because you as a Cap, you have the power to develop business. You might lack the mental fortitude, or you might lack the vision to take that shit to such a high place that even it falls, it never touches the ground because it's so high, you can catch it back again, or just gravity don't affect it. Gravity, because in Portuguese, when something bad happens or when something real serious happens, we call it grave. Oh, isso foi bem grave. That was very grave. That was very bad, serious, gravity, grave. Ooh, shit, whoa, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Brings you down.
Gravity of the situation.
Yeah, the gravity of the situation. Or a deep sound. We also call deep sounds grave. And gravity is all about deepness, density. Because gravity is not what they're really talking about. Gravity is just density, denser objects attracting. Or no, when two objects are interacting, they create density. And they keep attracting each other. But it will reach a point, and that's what gravity don't explain. It reaches a point where the friction is bigger than the gravity, and then they expel, and then they'll go back up, and that's fucking, that's sex, good old in and out. You know.
And it all has to do like how forces, how two spirits
interact with each other. Yeah.
Then create like magnetism or expelling.
Yeah, magnetism or electricity. Magnetism attracting magic, magnesium. And then electricity, excitum. Magnet, internal. Electric, external. Magi, magnum, magnums. The magnitude of something. Aquarius. Aquarius Sun. Aquarius Moon. Aquarius Rising. Aquarius Stellium. Aquarius Saturn. And Aquarius Uranus, you the ones people remembering right now. You the ones people trying to, oh, poor people, trying to connect back to you, Aquarius. You're already 3 worlds away, and they trying to get your number from your old town. Not only you moved towns, countries, continents, you're 3 planets away, and they're trying to call you to your old house that they know you from childhood. That actually makes me feel a bit sad right now. Because we value relationships, I'm not kidding. But it's like, bro, I already moved on. You have to call me to my new planet. You can't try to call me back to my old house. The rat's gonna pick up the phone over there.
Yeah, you are not on that frequency. Because to call something, you have to have that frequency.
Yeah.
That number.
and the people might not be able to reach you, or if they reach you, they might be already like tired. They already walked a long way to reach you, and then you might feel a bit weird because people might be more attached to the idea of you, or people might be like really attached to the old idea of you, and you are a fucking Aquarius. You change every day, right? And you be like realize that not only they were always upholding that old version of you, they still are upholding that version of you, and they want you to play that role, they want you to play that character, and you just can't. Right? Or, right now, you have an opportunity to be received in a more comfortable and relatable way. You know, Two of Cups. Okay? You have some clingy, sticky icky relationships, or you have some real deep spiritual relationships, and you as an Aquarius you might not be very and let me tell you something, because Aquarius are not very emotional, and a spiritual ship is also not very emotional. It is based on emotions, but it's not much emotion. A relationship is emotion, drama, and desire. 80%. A spiritual ship, no. It plays a big part, but it's not the biggest part. Okay? And the Aquarius know that. Okay? But right now, you with that retrograde, that past of your ruling sign, you can feel more connected, you can feel more smooth, more easy. You can, when you connect, or you might not connect easier, but when you do it, it's more meaningful and more profitable, and you receive some juice back. You know what I'm saying? What were you saying, Miss Nadia?
I have no idea. Aquarius, you know. Yeah, that relationships are like more of a playful act rather than
true.
going deeper.
True.
While like
Real
with
shit.
spiritual ship, you have that playful act,
As well,
but
yes.
there has to be deeper
Yeah.
connection and direction.
A spiritual ship, it's nothing different from a relationship. It's more complete.
Yeah.
It's like instead of you eating steak with chips, you eat steak with chips, salad,
Sauce.
tomatoes,
Yeah.
sauce, some pichik, you had some soup, you have some dessert, you drink a coffee, smoke a cigarette, smoke a blunt. That's a spiritual ship. A relationship is you go to Starbucks, you take a lot of photos, and you didn't enjoy the food. Or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Or it was like a shot of coke, or like a shot of heroin, which is like super strong. You get like a whole hangover after.
Yes.
But it's like a very fast,
Yeah, very
monotonous
fast,
roller coaster.
Yeah, it doesn't really take you far away on the spiritual
Yeah,
realm.
because
That's
many
right.
people go
But
get into like into those relationships for that roller coaster of
Yeah,
emotions,
true.
of drama, things going on.
and even like talking about those heavier drugs, they make you travel really far within your body, not in the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
And lighter drugs, even cigarettes,
Yeah.
make you go further away in the
It's-
spiritual realm.
It's smoke.
But spiritually, smoke, things that deal with smoke allows your spirit to travel faster and lighter.
Because you pick something, the sakura, you pick up something that is solid or
And-
liquid,
And you
and you transform
yeah.
it into vapor,
Yeah.
which is cloud, which
and
is...
that is reminding your spirit that your spirit can do that.
And by thinking about something that you want to bring from solid
True.
to a lighter state, you get that magic working even stronger.
Vais precisar de uma folha. Lastly but not least, Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising, Pisces Jupiter, and Pisces Neptune. You fatal attracting Saturn retro in Aquarius. So you're feeling more logic, you're feeling more realistic. You want to have some real people around you that celebrate and tolerate and add on to your creativity, uniqueness, sweetness, cuteness, lostness, not making sense, okay? But you feel ready to make sense. You might not be able to make sense, but you feel ready to be directed. Okay? Because you Pisces, you have all the gas. You might just not have the direction to use that gas on. And because it's coming from the past, you might connect to some lost associations though. You might feel ready to connect in places that you shouldn't be connecting with because of that retro past watery like energy, you know?
Então, outra vez. Era a única luz. Aquela era de mamão.
Ooh, that's very cool. Started showing me a new design and I love it. That's very cool.
A minha sem ideia.
É bem fixe a cena de dentro, já. Estou a ver a tua ideia, é bem fixe.
Acho que vai ficar bem bem.
Oh, let's go! Pisces card! Reversed Six of Cups, okay? So you're paying attention to the wrong feelings and emotions. You're trying to claim power and authority over the wrong feelings and emotions. Or you just might trying to do this but outside of yourself and you should, yeah, because you're feeling more open, you're feeling more sociable with your past and people from your past. So you might be paying attention to old, past, external feelings and emotions, and you should be more internal right now because with that Saturn in Aquarius retro, you can have a more calm and patient time to bring structure and stability to your dreams and illusions. All right? And that's everything for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed today's reading, today's live stream. I enjoyed a lot making it. I enjoyed a lot being here with you. Remember to support the channel. Remember to support me and Mysteria. Support me, support yourself. Because if you support me, I make more and better videos. And I express more and better my uniqueness and individuality. And if we do that, because not everybody needs to be expressing their uniqueness and individuality, but if you are unique and individual on your own, you will want to support people that do things like you in a unique and individual way, and that brings, because then if I express and reach to more people remember, oh, I can be unique and individual. So then they support me, they support you, they buy from your business, you buy from their business, I buy from your business, I buy from their business, and it grows.
Yeah.
So actually the ones that don't make the videos have a very important role as well on supporting. Just like everything, if you like that business, you support that business, you know.
You
So
receive, you give.
yeah, you receive, you give. I'm giving already energy, time. Many people don't even have the courage to be on camera, and I'm here doing for you, from the spirit to the spirit. And tomorrow, me and Miss Arya will upload an episode of our podcast, Spirit to All. All right, so keep yourself tuned to this YouTube channel, and you see you next time. Esoteric Cloud Surfer, surfing out. Love yourself, and I see you soon. Bye.